Ole, Arjuna, Dammegard, welcome to this podcast.
You so much, Fleming, Lisha.
Ole, we go way back, but people following my channel may not know the full story about you. I'm not going to present the full story now, but I know you have done a ton of interviews, at least 1,700 interviews. In my eyes, you are one of the best, if not the best, researcher in the world. You are in particularly tough in the assassinations of dignitaries like JFK, Robert Kennedy, Martin Luther King, the Swedish Prime Minister Olof Palme, John Lennon and Martin Luther King. You name it. All these assassinations, political assassinations. You have written books on these subjects for many years, and now we also have these, I say, alleged attacks on Donald Trump and Charlie, the deceased, apparently Charlie Kirk. You are a leading expert in false flags operations, and that is quite a thing in this day and age. You have put your name to a verb, Dammegarding. To Dammegard something means to actually go in and look for things that doesn't fit into the picture. You helped myself and the group I was with when I was at the WHO meeting in Geneva last year, because we were Dammegarding the event, and that led me to see some things that I didn't want to see about Del Bigtree and about Meryl Nash from Children's Health Defense, which is Robert F. Kennedy's what's called brainchild. But I mean, Ole, how do you cope with all these things? What's in your head?
Mostly I'm doing great. My head is quite empty and peaceful. And thank you for blowing some smoke up my butt here in the introduction. But
It's well deserved, Ole.
it's been a ride. It's 45 years. It's like, but this is something that has I feel on a soul level. I was pulled into this on this path without really knowing what I was getting myself into many years ago. And also with the background now, I'm finding out about my family being involved in Danish Gladio, Absalon,
Yeah.
and that whole thing. So it's almost like I believe that I was actually born into a Gladio operation, because my parents got recruited before I was born, and they lived a double life my whole life until my dad died in 1992, my mother in 2013. Never said a word, never ever, and I think to protect us. But otherwise than that, so I think that I got this confusion with me from day one on Earth, flat or round, and I've just been like trying to figure out what the hell is going on in my life, what is going on in the world, what is going on, and it's just. But I think that from a very young child, I just was trained in like, like, this doesn't make any sense. Why are they saying that why this person, who's that? They say it's my uncle what, so all of these. So I had this confusion that I just thought I was confused, and that was it. But then when I grew older and I started working as a journalist, and then later became, I don't know what to call it, but it's almost like a true crime forensic expert digging around in these crime scenes. This curiosity or this confusion has really helped me to get on a level that yeah, and my brain for some reason is just geared up for this area. You put me in other areas, I'm a complete loser, waste of time. In the kitchen, oh my god, I can burn spaghetti. It's like, but in this area I'm like Rain Man. Don't know why, but that's just it. And So I'm just very grateful that it's come to use now from, I think, millions that have over the years, got to open up a bit of the way of looking upon the world, because so much has been built on deception and lies without us knowing it. And now I'm doing my utmost to sort of pull away the veil of the deception, and so that you can see clearly.
And I totally dig into what you're saying, Ole, because when I first got to know you back in 2020, I just felt instantly, here's something that is worth keeping very close to me in terms of navigating in this world. I spent, unlike you, I spent 50 years of my life being a loser, or at least coming in second all the time. And I totally dig it when you are into the more spirituality way of describing what is going on here in life on Earth. It's there's just more things going on, and so we see when we turn to the world stage. There's more than first meet the eyes. When we look at recent events, like I think. 4 months back, I was in the bus and I heard someone discussing the murder on Charlie Kirk, and I was going like, God, that's interesting. I didn't know who this guy was before all this happened, and right suddenly, everybody is discussing this man. I bet they didn't know who he was, and and I mean. I know you have spent a lot of time looking into it, because you have all the tools to looking into events like this. Looking from the outside, what's the purpose of an event like Charlie Kirk? Or maybe we should just dig into how did you actually see what has happened when this maybe alleged murder on Charlie Kirk happened some months back?
So I just want to amplify what you said before. I spent thousands and thousands and thousands of hours looking into operations like this I've been to many different countries. I've been to more than 50 countries looking into many of these things. I've been on location right after many of these alleged terror attacks or alleged mass shootings have happened, sometimes when the police were still there, or the people that had carried it out were still in the active zone of the whole thing. Really scary at times, I tell you that. But so I come from a point where I don't say these things lightly, and I try to avoid jumping to conclusion. It's very easy to like, oh, it's this or it's that. So when Charlie Kirk happened, just like you, I think like most people that I know of, had seen him on YouTube or whatever, debating like on college students or whatever. But I mean, not a big deal, just that, well, he's really good at arguing. I mean, that really bores me. I'm not really interested in debates, but I could see that he's good at it. I mean, at least the ones that they published, he just completely crushed the opposition, so maybe there were 100 different ones where he was completely lost, but here, the ones that we were presented, intelligent guy, seemed like he had the heart in the right place. I mean, I just knew of him, but I don't know anyone that had really sort of Charlie Kirk. There's many of these, like Ben Shapiro and other people, like they're in the flow or sort of in the news feed, but not really like that. And then this thing happened where boom, and suddenly, like overnight, he had angelic wings. He was like on the same level as Jesus, I kid you not, on posters like JFK, Martin Luther King, Jesus, and Charlie Kirk. What? And so right away, when these type of things happen, these are sort of like a warning signal, like, whoa, something could be going on, because the reaction from this happening, whatever it happened, was very much smelling like a psychological operation, because then when these things happen, the most important thing is who controls the outlet of information and how is it directed and in what. And here it was just like, whoa, like this. So right away, I was in Japan when it happened at the time. I'd promised not to work, and I just said to my sweetheart, I'm sorry, I have a feeling this is on a scale that I have not seen before. It's moving forward so fast. Are you okay? Because I feel it's important. Something big is going on. And she said, go for it. And so I did. And so here we back to the thousands of hours, like, because this just kept growing. And the official narrative, I mean, what I do, I see it as a possible crime scene, or it is a crime scene. I mean, we have a guy who is murdered. So I don't know where to start. If you're interested in this, please go to dammegard.com or lightonconspiracies.com, same website. I have many very, very detailed webinars, where in these webinars, I try to not push my opinion on anyone, but just say, look here, look there, look here, this, so people can see for themselves and make up their own opinion. I have about the alleged assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Please notice the word alleged. And then here on Charlie Kirk, many others also. But in these webinars, I break it down in extreme detail of these operations. So in total, there's 4 hours about the Donald Trump assassination attempt, and there's 4 hours about Charlie Kirk. And I mean, I could go on with Charlie Kirk because that operation is on steroids. And so
one of the giveaways I mean, it's not something I have really dug into very much. I've just followed from the sideline, from the side really. But one of the things that really is strange is how this widow of Kirk, Erika Kirk, has let's say a past that is maybe not so. It's very coincidental. Let's say that.
It's complete bizarre, if you ask me, because anyway. So, do you want me to go into great detail about this, because I can sort of start taking it apart?
Let me say one of the things that actually put a hook in me in this Kirk thing quite recently. When you and I went through the this burning of the Danish stock exchange related to the Notre Dame burning, then you said something about this purple color, and I was going like, that's the color of the Phoenicians, that's the color of these noble families like to use, and then that put a hook on me back then, and I've done extensive research on Phoenicians and on modern day nobility families, black nobilities, and so on, and I know from that research that the Jesuits are an important branch of this black nobility, and then it turns out that Erika is actually trained in a Jesuit university in America, and that might not be a total giveaway, because there is a lot of Jesuit universities. There's hundreds of them. Actually, people probably don't believe me in that, but then you can turn to Wikipedia. There's actually more than 100, I think several hundred universities and graduate schools, colleges, and so on around the world, and most of them in the US. So she has a background that actually says she might actually be, an agent for a noble cause that goes back to antiquity.
The thing is, Fleming, I don't know where to start, but it's like, when I started digging into all of this, what I do is I just download everything, what I believe could be the truth, the official narrative, the alternative. I download everything because it gets deleted all the time. If you go back now and start looking for things you watched then, it's gone. There's this incredible cleaning operation afterwards that just takes away everything except for the official narrative. So when this whole thing happened, I was looking into Charlie Kirk, of course, because like I said, I don't know the dude. And so I was watching him, and it took a few days for me to see that, my God, there's at least 3 different individuals that are using the name Charlie Kirk. They look similar, but they're not at all. When you put them next to each other, they're not the same guy. I mean, one's got big teeth, one got very small teeth, one got a wide nose, but they look similar. One is really young, one is quite, he's at least 10, 15 years older than the other guy. And so like there's 3 of them. And so this also is like a very big like burp, 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 because as far as I know, there's only one of you, there's only one of me. But in these operations, when they're this high level caliber operation, we have this thing where for some reason they use more than one individual. Then I started looking into Erika Kirk, and there's at least 3 Erika Kirks. I mean, come on, really? And once again, when you put them next to each other in the webinar, I put them there next to each other. You can see, oh my God, that all 3 are blonde. That's it. They don't look anything like. And the woman that was Erika Kirk before the assassination, that's her. That has been the one that is under the name of Erika Kirk for years. Then the one that came and approached the nation right after the shots were fired and said, "Good evening, my name is Erika Kirk. Charlie Kirk is my husband." Not was, is. That's one other thing also. They have to tell you the truth because of the law of karma. So that's why they leave a lot of these hidden clues. That's, you mentioned this hashtag Dammegarding, is to find these hidden clues that they have to leave there for their selfish reasons, because they believe that if they show us what they're doing and we don't react, then indirectly it's our fault. We should have reacted, we should have known, and thus the bad karma's on our shoulders, not this. So that's why they do it. And anyway, so this dear Erika Kirk, so I started looking into them. Okay, they're officially married. There's no marriage certificate in the state of Arizona with these names. They have 2 kids. There's no photos of the kids at all. All the photos of these 2 kids are with the back of the head towards the camera, so you never see any faces. There's no birth certificates on these 2 kids. There's no mentioning of their names. They just don't exist. Then I looked into Erika Kirk's family, and we're talking Erika Kirk from before the assassination, not the one that is there now. After the assassination, I have no idea who that individual is, but the one before, her mother has worked for Homeland Security. This is when these type of operation, when it comes to when the recruiting of people into these type of operation, often they are recruited in the families of people that are already in the community. The military-industrial complex, army bases, navy bases, these type of things, often connected also to MK Ultra operations and stuff. Including created serial killers. I kid you not, and rock stars. Exactly the same background, the exact same setup, but then sent out on different missions. It sounds like a bad thriller, but I tell you, this is the thing. So when I heard that her mother was from Homeland Security, and then she's the CEO of some cyber high-level security companies, multiple of them, I'm like, okay. Then her dad doesn't exist at all, but then some people have found information that he's working for Raytheon, the very, very advanced weapon
contractor.
Oh, God, the producer of absolute horror when it comes to violence, and that he's involved with this very advanced dome technology, anti-missile thing. So that is on a very high level, but he's invisible on the internet. So that normally means that he's in some area of career that they don't want highlighted. So that anyway, her granddad was Swedish. Her name was Frantzve. They say various connections into Sweden and stuff. But anyway, so the whole thing about Erika, very odd. The whole thing about Charlie Kirk, very odd. He came from nowhere, and then now when he died, they were trying to sell the mansion for $6.2 million. I'm like, how do you go from to that? Once again, hello. So then when I started looking into, for instance, the assassination attempt on Donald Trump came at a point where Donald Trump's popularity was, shaking. He was not headed directly for the White House. It was like a rocking situation. Some people loved him, other people thought he was absolutely mad. So how do you convince people in a situation like that? You have to persuade them to go into hero mode. People love heroes. And so what happened, the best thing in these situations is either that it's an outside war, like Margaret Thatcher, go for the Falkland Islands and bomb the shit out of something so people don't look at her anymore, but they go there and suddenly unite the nation. Hallelujah, baby, and you're back in the power throne. Or if you are going like this, if you have an assassination attempt on you, where you are standing up, you're talking about freedom and secure this for you, the people, like that, and then you're shot at, wounded or anything like that. Oh my God. And if you do something like this, fight, which is the sixth letter of the alphabet, 666, and this whole thing where nothing, when you look into this, makes any sense whatsoever from the official narrative. I mean, bullshit on steroids from the first to the last word of the whole thing. But that operation, boom, made him go, his popularity, like, woof. So there's again also shot fired, at least that's what they say, boom. And in the second these shots were fired, the legend was created, oh my God, he stood up for, for us, it's amazing. And he, boom. Then they normally have, it's like you have these marketing agents in the background, because this is what we're talking about. We're not talking about anything else. It's like marketing. And so just like with Coca-Cola, they have sort of like a campaign going. They're aiming for a certain level of result. If they don't get there, they ump it up, So here, apparently, it wasn't really enough to get him into the White House for sure. So they just carried out another assassination attempt. Low budget, absolute crap, ridiculous. The whole thing with ears that heals within 48 hours, even though it would take forever on a normal human being. Also, your eardrum would have blown up. You would have been completely traumatized by that shot had it come so close to you. The whole thing, please go to my website, Dammegarding.com, and watch the webinars, because when you see that, just like myself, I was gobsmacked when doing it. It's just like, it was on a level I could. So now when Charlie Kirk came, it was more or less a copycat of the same thing. So we got through an operation like that, boom, you got Donald Trump into the White House, where everybody was saying this is going to be a hero. First of all, I don't listen to politicians at all. I have no idea what Donald Trump stands for, what he's saying. Biden, I do not listen. I track down criminals. That's what I do. So here we have somebody that it was worship. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. But actually what that whole assassination attempt on Trump was, if you're asking me, it was a Jewish ritual to prepare him with blood smearing over the ear and the whole shebang to become the next Messiah, to the next level. That was done under the stage after this shooting happened, when he was out of sight, that was done, and then he brought them back up with the smeared blood on his ear, his thumb, his foot, all of it, following the exact same thing like that to prepare him for the next thing. Boom. Okay, so Donald Trump came in and hailed as a hero, and then he starts doing his real agenda, where people are like, "Holy, what is going on? He seems absolutely mad." Yeah, like what else is new on that level? They're mad. These people are not to be followed at all. So anyway, so along the way was this organization called Turning Point, where Charlie Kirk was the founder. And when you looked at that one I noticed, because it was like a military operation, like super efficient, the way it was being built up and marketed, and then when I started looking into the different people that were part of this organization, they were all former militaries. It's like, what? That's sort of like, I don't get it. This is a political movement, especially for student college, and then you got military. What is, so once again,
and quite evangelical, as if my memory serves me right.
Yeah, but it's sort of like the front window is one thing, the shop window is one thing, but then behind the scene, it smells the same as usual, and that's not a nice smell, because that's deception on a level that can really hurt us if we don't see through it. So anyway, so Charlie Kirk came from more or less nowhere. Then he was hired by Donald Trump. We have Donald Trump here again. And so he was starting to work indirectly for Donald Trump. At the memorial, people were thanking him for him being part of electing every single elected member of parliament, the whole government. Like, what? Charlie Kirk? What? He flew in, or they flew out his body on Air Force Two. They brought in Erika Kirk on Air Force Two. That has never ever happened. They stole his body. The autopsy should have been done in Utah. It's a federal crime. It should have been done in Utah. Instead, they stole, or at least they took a coffin and took away before. Now they say an autopsy was done. It wasn't. Now, and there's no medical reports, there's no forensic reports, anything, no evidence, absolutely nothing, except they took that, and then with Vance and these other dudes, and carried the coffin just like they did with the body of JFK. There's many similarities where they try to reamp the trauma of earlier events. So we have so anyway, so they took up with with Charlie Kirk's body and stole it, so that there was no autopsy done in Utah to start with. Then you had, when you look at the way, the place that it happened, we were told, okay, it was a university. There was this guy, Tyler Robinson, who for some reason was pissed off, and so he did exactly the same as when Donald Trump was being the attempt on his life. The same distance, the same. It's ridiculous. Like, it's the closest house. Even you or me, who knows nothing about security, would say, we should check over there. We should check over there. And by the way, maybe have a little bit of control around this if it's a controversial individual. And so the location itself, we were told, was that the shooter was up on the rooftop of a house that was called Luce's Center, which is almost like you have to look from a subconscious level. They often try to amp think in there, so Luce's Center. It sounds like Luce's Center, where the shooter was. Okay, so I looked on Google Maps. There's nothing called Luce's Center, but there's something called UVA, which is a university-style building for mostly military veterans. Okay, so I was like, Okay. So I started checking out. Well, it just turned out that Homeland Security had courses there. CIA have done several educations there, or FBI has been in the building. NSA are doing stuff like that as well in one building. I'm like, and that's the building he chose. Okay. And then Israel has just donated $2.4 million to that exact building. I mean, okay. So we look at the location where he was shot, because he was shot outdoors, and he was sitting in sort of like a place with many different levels of seating areas. So, okay, fine. So what I do when I go into these areas, I always go in on Google Map and I look for Freemasonic symbolism in the area, pyramid-shaped things, or obelisk in the area, or whatever it is, because they love these stuff. I mean, you have to give it to them. They just do. So the place that he was sat and shot, it's right on top of, it's like, it looks like, when you look from above, it looks identical to a Jewish menorah, these candeliers, like 7-armed, I think they're called chandeliers or candle holders, and which is super Jewish, the faith of Jewish and like that. And the middle arm of this whole thing, exactly where Charlie Kirk was shot, is the middle of these one. That one symbolizes Jeshua, the death of Jeshua, meaning the death of Christ, or however you want to interpret that. So he was sitting on the exact location of that, and I put like I've done from above. You can see this candle holder. It fits in exactly. That one is built from this layout, and then the exact location he was sat. That's called the hall of flags. So it's an international flag point. Also, like, this is just outside an ordinary university. Very odd. So it affected all countries in the world. And then you had the death of Jesus like that. Then on the side of that hole, you have like where people was walking down, like to sit down. I looked from above and I thought, it looks like a massive big arrow, like pointing like this. And this is what they do. It's because I've seen it in many other places that I look for these type of things, because otherwise I would have no clue. Anyway, so I thought, that really looks like an arrow. So I asked ChatGPT. I gave the coordinates. I get all the thing, and I uploaded the image of this whole thing. And I said, if that is an arrow, where is it pointing at? At what specific point will that arrow point towards? And so Chat got back to me and said, with these coordinates and so on, it seems like it's pointing straight to Jerusalem, to what is it called? The wall of veil, the wailing wall, or whatever, where they stand there doing all the prayers and that was pointing straight to that one. Interesting location, I must say, that they've chosen. Wouldn't you say so? Okay, so also we have, I love it when we have this CCTV camera, like you see the shooter, he's running across the roof, and then he jumps down. It's very dramatic. Okay, so what was that camera? It was a camera for a parking lot. Normally, you don't have anyone sitting there, like doing stuff with a camera like that. It's a stationary camera filming. Does anyone steal a car? Yes, it was him. Okay, that's it. But in these operations, these cameras always move and they follow the action. That's a dead giveaway of bullshit. So here we see he's running across the roof. Oh my God! And then the camera just follows him. He jumps down. It follows him. It zooms in like, holy shit! Who did that? Who zoomed in? And it follows him. You look at the parking lot. There's said to have been 3,000 people there. Don't you think the parking lot would be full? I'm just saying, don't you think it would be packed, jam-packed with cars? Don't you think that people would react, that there would be some kind of adrenaline in the area, that because people were running away, screaming, shouting when this happened, you You see, when he was running away, nobody was running. The parking lot was, it was pretty full, but not completely. And the cars in the street was just like very calm, and the camera moving. I call bullshit on steroids once again. When he's limping, so he's limping down the road, and in a different part of town, there's another camera who catches a glimpse of me. So that camera, this guy is humping like this. The camera just starts following him. What is that? What is that? Once again, is the comment. So they're right now, they changed the whole theme of type of weapons, because these things are also they're there to get rid of weapons from the population. All of these false flag or the alleged mass shootings are there. Almost all of them happens in the US, and is there to take away the weapons from people. They've done the AR-15 for years and years, the semi-automatic for years, and so now they're going for the rest, the real old guns, like granddad's this and that. So in this case, a Mauser. From now on, you will see, now we have Bondi Beach. Oh, sorry, it's so exciting. Oh, God, please give me a break. So here we have again the same type of rifle. They're now going to go for those. Once they got rid of all the weapons, they're going to go for knives. If you haven't noticed, all of these knife attacks, and after that, forks, I'm sure, maybe spoons in the long run, because they don't want us to have anything to defend ourselves with. But anyway, so this guy was using a Mauser 3006. Okay, 3006, that's exactly the same weapon that we're being told also that the caliber and so on that Martin Luther King was shot with. Also, the room that Martin Luther King was staying in was 306, the room. So I would say sometimes they use these things. I don't know if I'm putting too much emphasis on this, but I'm just telling you. So anyway, so this is a heavy duty rifle. I mean, it was used in both world wars. It's been used in hunting. It does its job. I mean, you get hit in the throat, I tell you, it's not pretty. It is a massive impact. And the bullet would go straight through your neck. It would like cause massive hemorrhage. The blood would just be pumping out in massive amounts like this. It would be, I mean, it is a massive impact. It's only like 105 meters or whatever. That is like full on. Here we see Charlie Kirk like jump up like that and then slowly fall to the side. And there's this like black pudding type of thing coming out of his throat. This is not what blood looks like. I've been to war zones. I've been to many, when I was a journalist, I've been at accident sites and stuff. Blood coming from here is quite a bright color, depending on what blood group. Yes, some blood groups are darker, but here up, it's so filled with oxygen that it would be pumping like, if he didn't die instantly, which he wouldn't, with it like that, it would be pumping out, but really like heavily. He would be bleeding out very quickly. We see them carry him away. There's not a drop of blood anywhere. There's no squirting like this. If you slow it down in slow motion, the whole thing, you will see also, it's really weird because the blood pours out like that, but it never taints his t-shirt. His t-shirt never gets red, the color at all. It's just, so that is AI graphic, some kind of not real stuff going on there. And okay, so we've been told also that he used his Mauser, and then he took it apart like within seconds, because and then he put it back together later on. And when it was found, I mean, you don't do that without a screwdriver. That would take like several minutes to do that. Whole thing. No, we have this weapon expert that was on national American TV, and he was showing, this is the Mauser, this is the gun. And so the reporter asked, so how quickly could he sort of like just fold it together? Within seconds, he said. And then he puts away the Mauser and he brings out an AR-15. In live TV, he swaps the gun with an AR semi-automatic, presses the button and say, look here, this is how we could do it, and folds it together. That's not a mouser. That you just put away the mouser where we can't do that. Oh, then God, do you want me to go on and on and on?
Well, I find it interesting, Ole, but maybe we should.
I just want to say
Yeah,
before
go
I
on.
go, if I'm right, then Charlie Kirk was a created identity. It was like the people in power behind the scenes pulling the strings. What they do is just like a chess play. They are aiming for global power, global control, a one world, the new world order, like Agenda 21, absolute hell for us and absolute control for them. So what they do with these type of operations is they often prepare like almost like different theater part groups, so for instance, like Obama, when he was being groomed and prepared, that was years before. He was a CIA asset. His name was Barry Soetoro. He was an asset in Afghanistan, training Mujahideens and stuff. And then he was. They observed that this guy is very good looking. He's good at expressing himself. He's very likable and stuff. Like, he could be usable. He could be used in a different. So they took him back to the U.S. He gave them the code name Renegade, and then they prepared him to destroy the U.S. from the inside, but under this very beautiful, nice image. It's not him as such. He's just a front figure. Okay, so these different individuals that we see come and go are sometimes being groomed and prepared for years before. So now I can tell you for sure there's a transgender president on standby, should that be needed. There's a young this needed if there's all kinds of whatever. Suddenly, like, oh God, we need like a Muslim president in the States now because of this happened there and there. Then they could just move that one forward, this one forward. It completely depends on what. So all of these characters are being prepared in standby, like sleeping assets, just there, the day that needed, boom, move forward. So the whole Turning Point operation, I think, was such an operation where it was being built up around this character called Charlie Kirk. Okay, Charles means man of truth, I think, something like that. Kirk means church in Scottish. Erika means ruler, and church, Kirk means church. So these type of names also with these hidden meanings that are really part of umphing the power into these operations are standard. Anyway, so along the way, we had this Charlie Kirk person being groomed. You could see him in the background. And then when there's like multiple of them, where like there was one going, one of my friend, James Dellingpole in England, worked for the BBC. He did an interview with Charlie Kirk, one of them, not the one that was shot, I think, one other, not charismatic, not like that. John said he was nothing. It was like he was just, he had rehearsed his answers. There wasn't any kind of, it was the worst interview he ever did compared to the one that was going in the States at the time, completely different. So these, I think that he was a constructed identity, then coming in under the umbrella of Donald Trump. Then we had Erika Kirk, who was this beauty queen. How did she become a beauty queen? She was called up by the people behind the US Miss USA, this pageant thing, owned by Donald Trump. You got thousands of young girls who wants to join these type of beauty queens. They called her and said, why don't you join? So she did. She won Miss Arizona. Boom. And I have photos from her own website where she's sitting in Pentagon She's sitting in Pentagon with the whole beauty thing like that. She's sitting at the Department of Defense, which is such a weird name. It should be the Department of Absolute Murder and Slaughter. But anyway, she's sitting there with the whole thing like that, with the emblem like that. Since when does a beauty queen go there? And then, okay, so she became this beauty queen, boom, and that opened the door for her. She started an NGO where she was helping children. Oh, that's really cute. Where? In Romania. Okay. I thought she was American. Yeah, no, Romania. And on her own website, she's thanking the US military for helping her. I mean, wake me up, Fleming. What the hell is American soldiers doing in Romania helping with children for an NGO? Am I the only one like, what? And then the two cities, I can't remember the name of these two cities in Romania. They're infamous for child trafficking. I mean, what? And then when you look around the Jeffrey Epstein networks and all around the Clintons, these NGOs and how they did in Haiti and how it's like, are you kidding me? Okay, so that one, like, hello. Anyway, so then she came in on stage. She was in 2013. She was invited in to be part of a music video, and in that music video, she's playing against a guy called Tyler, just like the shooter Tyler Robinson, who looks almost the same as Tyler, this guy. And in it also, there at one point she's doing a zipline thing in Las Vegas where she's passing the big numbers 10-9, which is the exact date when Charlie Kirk was shot, they said. But the thing is, that's just a beginning for this whole thing, because in 1998 there was a movie called Snake Eyes with Nicolas Cage, and Nicolas Cage, like him as an actor, super Freemason. I mean, he's even ordered his own tombstone already. It's the pyramid shape, the whole shebang like that. If you look at many of his movies, you got the all-seeing eye, you see the pyramid shapes, you see like that. Anyway, so I'm not saying anything about Nicolas Cage, but I'm saying it's a movie with him, in that he's a boxing promoter, and there's this boxer, and the boxer's name is Tyler the Executioner. That's the nickname of this guy, Tyler. Okay, the Executioner, like the killer. Okay, so in this movie from 1998, the stage is that during this boxing match, he's supposed to fold, lie down, and look like he had been knocked down. He was paid to just drop dead, more or less. And in the chaos that was created and a commotion around that, there was a sniper who, when everybody was screaming and stuff like that, he fired a shot and killed a politician that was sitting there in the audience. So the politician was hit right in the exact same point as Charlie Kirk. So what was the name of the politician? His name was Charles Kirkland. Okay, Charles Kirkland. Okay, so then we have like the actress who was dressed in white, just like Erika Kirk was dressed in white when she approached the nation with the speech and all of this thing. Anyway, who's sitting next to Charles Kirkland and is sort of by his side when all of this happened, just like Erika Kirk with Charles Kirk. This actress is right now in a TV series called Heads of State, where she's playing the vice president, Elizabeth Kirk. Do you see I'm like, what are, I had a mathematician check out what are the chances of that is just a coincidence that he was hit in the exact same place by the boxer, the executioner. His name was Tyler. That was on, and the boxing match was on the 10th of September, which is exactly the 10th of September when Charlie Kirk was shot, and the name is Charles Kirkland. It was like I don't know how many trillions, but you being hit by lightning is in the millions. Do you know the difference between millions and trillions? It's not just the sound of a word, it's unbelievably on its. And when in this boxing match, the layout of the boxing match is more or less exactly the same layout as they were using at the memorial of Charlie Kirk afterwards. The stage is so similar. I put them next to each other, like unbelievable. And in this boxing match, there's this one eye that is circling around the arena. One eye is a very Freemasonic thing, and above it, it says Powell Pace is the slogan. Powell Pace. Okay, so who is Powell in this movie? I checked it out. It's an individual character based on Donald Trump, Leo Powell in the name of it. So indirectly, it says Donald Trump Pace, if you want to put some like that. And where was the whole thing filmed? It was filmed at the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City, owned by Donald Trump. So what on earth was that? You have the Illuminati card game, where the latest one was printed in 1996. In that card deck, there's one card of Donald Trump, or somebody that looks extremely like Donald Trump, where there's an arrow, a straight line going through his right ear, where the hole is a pyramid-shaped hole, from 1996 to the assassination attempt, like that. How is that even possible? And I also want to say, you were talking about the fire in Denmark, with this beautiful place that was fried with directed energy weapons, laser weapons, just like Notre Dame. That was one day off the 5-year anniversary of Notre Dame. They don't do it on the exact day. It would be just too obvious, so one day off. And here we have, it was the 10th of September. That's one day off 9/11. But when Charlie Kirk was shot in the US, if you believe that he actually was shot, it was actually 9/11 in several parts of the world already. That, since I'm talking to you from the future, from Bali, and you come later on, so it had already swapped. So these countries, when they heard about it, it was already 9/11, and boom. Do you see how they do it? So I want to say also, I'm just gonna continue. You do like that? You had enough? Okay, so many years ago, there was an alleged mass shooting at the Parkland High School that I predicted like 2 weeks before it happened, through clues that was left in the Las Vegas mass shooting, was pointing to that area in a very deceptive way. But I found the clue. I said, it's here somewhere, and boom, it happened. Okay, so there were all of these youngsters said to have been shot, and then I think it was within about less than 3 weeks, they went from that mass shooting, to this anti-gun rally in Washington, D.C., the top security, most guarded place in the U.S. They had like stages out there, like a rock concert. They were arranged for thousands of buses and thousands of hotel rooms and all of that, and security, all of that. And they did it in 3 weeks. I'm like, wow, that is impressive. Because it's like, normally if you want a big, like a dog house, something for your dog, it would like take at least a few weeks for you to get the permission to build that. How could they do a thing like that? And by the way, the woman who arranged it, who was the arranger, very Jewish sounding name, nothing against Jews. It's just like they have this tendency to just all the time appear in the background. I'm not talking about Jews as a faith, like the faith of Jews, but the people that are in the background so often of these operations have dual citizenship, US, Israeli. It's like, had it been in all of these areas and it would have been Danes appearing like that, there would have been this incredible thing around the world saying, the Danish conspiracy, they're all over the place. Why are nobody looking into the Danes? But here we're not allowed to. But anyway, I'm just saying, look into it, because oh my God, it's like. So anyway, so I had a friend contact Homeland Security in the US, because if I use my name, they don't pick up the phone. So anyway, so she contacted this guy. His name was Scott Earhart. I had his badge number, everything like that from Homeland Security. And he was asked, when was the permission for that whole event given? Because like only in 3 weeks, that is, whoa, just the security on its own. And he said, because he like he was just an honest individual, he said, I think about 4 months ago. Hello, I took that email, it went viral. I sent it everywhere. I mean, millions of people saw it, and then it was debunked by all of these fact checkers, stuff like that. But anyway, so that's normally what it takes. It takes all of that time to prepare a thing like that. You can't, it's the logistics. You cannot. Okay, so here in 11 days, we had Charlie Kirk, boom, shot. And 11 days later, you have the State Farm Stadium, Arizona State Farm Stadium, with about, they say, 80,000 people in 11 days. You look at the design, the layout, the banners, the background printed banners, the pyrotechnics, the lighting, the security on its own. You know, you had both the president and the vice president and other people coming to the same place. That breaks all rules of security, because there's a reason the vice president is there. They should not be in the same room, because like if something goes off, boom, both of them are gone. They need a leader apparently, so they should be kept apart. Not when it comes to these ones. Could it be because they know there's nothing to fear? Anyway, so the security on its own you could not do in 11 days to get this type of people in there. So I checked out, I found out right away, I found the Arizona State Farm State Stadium and asked about this event. This was before they started to close down this whole thing. So I was informed that no, it was booked by a private person 4 months, I kid you not, the same time, 4 months earlier in April, for a private gathering. Okay, a private gathering, like a stadium for me, it's like, okay, fine. But later, I was being informed that that private client was Turning Point. But if that's true or not. Anyway, so now they say, no, there was this RV exhibition that they had booked it 4 months earlier. And then when Charlie Kirk happened, oh my God. So they were so emotional. They said, we really want to help. So they just let Turning Point take over. Fair enough. Yeah. And officially, I've seen these interviews where they said, it's amazing in only 11 days. They managed to do, I can do this as well. They managed to do it because there was 100 volunteers, 100 volunteers. The volunteers they could maybe take care of the catering if that wouldn't even be enough for 80,000 people. Just the toilet cleaning crew would be 100 people. So 100 volunteers, here you go. You can't do it. You cannot. Okay, and the rights for the lives, with the TV stations and the coordination, you just can't do it. You cannot. And so in on stage comes this new woman, whatever her name is, I don't know who the new one is, and comes in, and Donald Trump, who, by the way, says that indirectly that Charlie Kirk was a Freemason also. He was using terms that are Freemasonic about Charlie Kirk, so also the way that they do subliminal things, you have to watch out there also. So Donald Trump is standing like, he's welcoming Erika Kirk in on stage, and right when she comes, there's red light on his hand, which is the satanic color that they use a lot, the red color. And then when he moves towards her, it's changed into this golden, like halo type of thing. So they're doing the chuk chuk like this. Anyway, so she comes in, there's like fireworks, it's like a rock star coming in, like, who is this woman coming in on Air Force 2? I mean, how the hell? But anyway, she comes in and people are like, whoa! And then she comes over to him and he hugs her. She just melts into him like I thought you were a grieving widow. That looks more like you're, you know, have you got the same bedroom or what the hell is that? That was, and he did the white man overbite. That one, which the only time I've seen him do that was when he was together with Jeffrey Epstein, you know, like when they were standing watching girls dancing. Like he did that with a grieving widow. Come on, Donald, what on earth is that? And then she turns toward, she look up, sorry if I sound sarcastic, I am, for a reason. Anyway, she looks out over the crowd and she does this. And it's like, no, she does this. Okay. And I'm like, and then they say, this means I love you. Yes, it does. But is that really what you do at a memorial stuff? And by the way, where were your parents? Where were Charlie Kirk's parents at this memorial? It wasn't a funeral, it was a memorial. And so anyway, so this even, what's this, Gene Simmons from the Kiss is doing, who used Devil's Own all the time, does like this sometimes, because that is what it means. This whole thing, I really want to look into when the deaf started using this in sign language, because I'm sure it's just a few years ago they added this whole thing so that they could get away with it. I'm speculating. I'm going to look into it because it's just like too close. When Lady Bird Johnson, Lyndon Baines Johnson, the president that was a major part of the assassination of.
He's Jesuit trained as well, Lyndon.
What else is new? I mean, in Georgetown, that all of them, they're right in the sense of all of these spies and the head of the CIA and the head of the FBI and all of that. What's there? The Jesuit church, the whole thing is just super.
Georgetown University is the first state sponsored university in the States, and Jesuit run university.
This is the thing when people say it's the Vatican, it's the Jesuits, it's the Illuminati, it's the this, it's the that, it's the Bilderberg, it's trilateral. The answer is yes, because it's like this. It's not one or the other. It is completely entangled. It's really dark. So anyway, so yeah.
And also the split between evangelical, Baptist, and all these different. It's all the same. It's an artificial split.
I think, based on how I've seen them play these operations before, because I could continue for a few hours more, but I'm thinking I would bore you to tears. But it's sort of like when you start seeing how they play this game and put out the clues like this, I believe that what happened was that this character, Charles Kirk, who's now been relocated, at least one of them somewhere, with the first Erika Kirk. I think they're in Tel Aviv, as far as I know. But anyway, he had been, his value would be umphed up by him being turned into a martyr. His job was done in this operation as an asset. So boom, thank you, relocate and move away. Normally it's like 5-6 years. They are on sort of like they live in some tropical paradise or whatever, on a golf course or whatever, and then they're getting put into action. You know, often small minor surgery, the whole thing changed, and then you can be reused again. But anyway, so I believe that the whole idea was to get this whole incredibly emotional operation going, also so that people wouldn't start looking too much at what's going on right now. It's always this diversion, get the emotion and look over there. And then at the same time, give the new Erika Kirk like a rocket start, and this whole upgoing, massively backed career to become, I believe, the next possible vice president. You know, do you remember what she was playing? Elizabeth Kirk, vice president. That is the idea. with maybe with Vance as the next president. I mean, look at these two when they are hugging. Like, my God, is there another orgy going on, or what? The way this is a woman who's been portrayed, and the family life of the Kirkland, of the Kirk family, it's just like this angelic Hollywood story like that, and then right away she just goes in black leather pants, and like, where's the tear? There's not one single tear that is true. I've seen actors looking at her behavior, and it's just like, they're just saying, this is so not good. This is really not good at all. This is so fake, fake, fake. So, and have you seen also these concerts where they have like Trump's wife and Erika, where they sing about Charlie Kirk? Oh my, it's so beautiful. The whole, it's like in a massive big stage with a big orchestra. You can see it's AI generated because like the orchestra is like not really synced. But anyway, they sing amazingly. And then all the time when they sing about Charlie Kirk and they put in images of him, you know, with smoke and light and stars in the background like that, above the stage is a massive big word called, and it says VIVO, vivo. In Latin and Spanish, that means he lives. He lives. It lives. She lives.
Yeah, we're back, Ole. So I actually just made an article on the Jesuit part of this, and then I just stumbled across this fact about Erika Kirk's faith and her background. And as I said, she's Jesuit educated at Regis University, which is a private Jesuit institution in Denver. That's from 2007 to 2009. Her faith is Catholic. She's raised in a Catholic family and has frequently displayed her faith in public, such as praying and all this rosary thing with her late husband and so on. And she's actually also doing an evangelical, that is a Protestant PhD at Liberty University. So when it comes to faith, like faith is something that can include many things, and even the Jesuit was actually, when Loyola founded this, mostly Jews, even though they weren't allowed in. A lot of the original members were Jews in the Jesuit order, this brotherhood. So I just wanted to fit that in, but it's so interesting, all with all the details you bring out in this, and I hope people get a sense of the tenacity, the way you are able to dig into those things with your network and with your tools and with your analytical mind and your experience in this field, and completely tear these theaters that are put up in front of us, these paper tigers that are put up for the entertainment of the people.
I tell you, the thing that you said about Erika, for me, is just empty words that is being put together, because when you look at her, if you go back, she has no presence. She does not exist as a person. She is also a created identity, if you ask me. That I speculate, but when you go back, and I've seen people start looking into her background, you know, school years and so on, she just doesn't exist until she's a teenager. Suddenly she's there. I would strongly suggest that whoever that individual was, her name was not Erika Kirk. It is a created individual. They call them legends. They're created. It's like the CIA and many other agencies involved with this thing. They can very easily create new identities, real identities, but they're not real as such. They're sort of like fake. But so both Charlie Kirk and Erika Kirk were created identities for this whole thing to happen, prepared a long time ago. I mean, we're talking, the people that are behind these operations have no problem letting this go for like 30, 40, 50 years, because they're all the time like this, you know. And so this is why we see they put out the clues there, boom, it happened. But 25 years later, you think, no, come on. But I have from insiders that some of the, especially some of these families we're talking about that are involved in these type of things, they plan 100 years ahead. I mean, I can't even plan a week ahead. I can't even imagine how that is possible. But if that, and they do it in a way that they're not really in a hurry. I think they're getting to a place where they're starting to get, feel pressured for time, because so many people are waking up to what's going on, and it's getting harder and harder.
Thanks to the people like you, Ole. Yeah, thanks to the people like you, Ole. Yeah.
I really hope so, because I put my whole life into this.
Yeah, and it's not without dangers to do this. And I've interviewed you before, and I know how people have fallen ill close to you, and so on. But this Charlie Kirk and Erika Kirk thing, seen from the outside, if all these things that all these facts that you have brought to the center here, if all this is correct, which it is, what's the purpose? Why putting up this immense theater for us? I mean, what on earth are they getting out of this? The people who are behind.
To understand what's going on, you have to see it from a global perspective. This is not a matter of countries. It is not a matter of East and West superpowers. Not at all. It's about a power elite, they call themselves, in the background, pulling the strings with their tentacles involved everywhere that can make a difference. And so it's like a board game, a global board game, like a chessboard, where they're playing stuff like this. And so sometimes they do these operations to divert the attention. Sometimes they do a lot of so-called false flag operations. It's almost like on a daily basis nowadays. It's all the time, the same theme, the same low budget, really, really awful carried out, like the Bondi Beach now and the Brown University. I mean, come on, please make an effort. It is so bad. And why they do it nowadays with AI and stuff, where they could create something that looked absolutely immaculate that we would never be able to see through. So you have to ask, is this once again that they have to tell us that we have to be able to see that it's not true because of the law of karma? I think so, because otherwise it would be very easy for them. I mean, they can make like dinosaurs look that they're still around, They have these assets to them. Hollywood is involved in these type of operations as well, so they could easily fool us, but they're not. They don't. So, which is great in one way. So, diversion, and then people need heroes. It's like especially if you're scared, they need heroes. So they create them. They also create the control opposition heroes, so that I don't have to do anything, because that individual will do it for me. Right. Yeah, so I can sit in my sofa, watch sports and have another slice of pizza, while I'm sure they will save the world out there. No, it doesn't work like that. So why they do it, I mean, you ask me. I mean, I think psychological operations is to get into your mind and turn it around and aim it in a certain direction, so that we will think what they want us to think. We will react the way they want us to react. We will ask for more and more protection. Because the thing is, here is the answer. Many, many years ago, there was a small group of absolute psychos that got together. They've been around for thousands of years, the same type of individuals, like the old Romans. And like the old Romans were like, how are we, such a small little group, how can we control the masses? How can we make them think that we are gods? How can we make them worship us, give everything they have to us, while we rape them and plunder and steal and send them out to unjust wars and get them absolutely killed and chopped into small pieces? How can you do that? You have to do it this way. You have to turn it around and get into the mind of people. Otherwise, it won't work. This is where false flag operations came in, diversion, divide and conquer, these type of operations that they use all the time. So there's, I lost where I was going with this. What was the question? Sorry about
that. What is the main purpose for all these theaters that they are putting up?
So over many years, when the groups, the so-called Illuminati in the end of the 1700s, they started having very structured plans on how they wanted like global control. How are they going to do it? Keep it in very few families, keep it to very few people. Secrecy was one major part of the whole thing. Secrecy, secret rituals that they would, so that they had blackmail power over individuals. They got them by the balls and could control them and so on. But what they found out early on was that there was no way that the few could, with physical power or military power, go in and become the rulers of the world. There's just too many of us, So it would be like they would have to have almost as many soldiers as ordinary people, just to deal with the uprisings and revolutions and all the underground movements and stuff like that. So what they came up with was like, they have to be welcomed as heroes. They have to, that's the only way. And so the way that they see it was that they created what they call the New World Order agenda, which is destroy everything, which is what we see in the world now. Nations, gender, education, free thinking, languages, races, all of it, whatever it is, destroyed, education, all of it, destroy. And then out of the ruins, boom, comes the New World Order. Out of the ruins, they will come and rise like the phoenix as the new savior. So this is what the whole thing is about. When you look at the world now, we're in the end game where it's just destroy, including the weather being weaponized and all of that. And then in the end, the way they want it is when the chaos is unbearable for us, it's just like that. They will just turn off their operations. Everything will be quiet. They will step in and say, we'll fix it for you. We will fix it for you. And they just turn off their operation, and suddenly, boom, the world is a peaceful, beautiful place the way it's meant to be. And we will say, oh my God, our savior, they saved us. This individual, he, she, whatever, saved us. This is the new Messiah. Thank God. And we will then be at a point where they can control us, because this is what they want. They need us for us to welcome them in. And so this is also when you see with these operations like Charlie Kirk and this, when they go angelic, when they go on that level. And Erika Kirk, I mean, the way she's being portrayed is like she's soon going to get angelic powers as well, to come to that level where it's this new savior. Donald Trump has been pushing that also to come to that point of the new world order leader, because they're looking for like a one global leader, a one world order, it's a one world nation, a one world army, a one world digital currency,
one world religion, one world government,
one world religion, one world, all of it, one world government from one. And if you ask me, that is the worst idea ever. Mm-hmm. When you centralize power in whatever area it's never going to go well, mm-hmm. because we lose, and the super psycho that is in control, we are completely at their mercy.
So what do we do, Ole? I know you are using a lot of your energy in helping people's mental awareness and their spiritual awakeness. So, but how do we help each other and get stronger in our believe in humanity and in freedom and in free will. How do we do it? How do you do it?
I wish I was better at solutions than seeing what is going wrong. I can only say that, to my understanding, there is, whatever we're living in, if it's a matrix, a virtual reality, real life, I don't know. I'm very confused. But I feel that it feels to me that what is called life is duality, with plus and minus. And in this duality, with these forces, that is black and white, up and down, left, right, but also good and evil. It is in this spectrum where we can create stuff using these different things and play around, and it's like an amazing playground on a spiritual level, where we can have these bodily experiences doing, I'm going to become a serial killer. Oh, great. I'm going to become a monk, and I'm going to go to Tibet, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be a cab driver. We can do, it's amazing. We can do all of these things and experience this in it. So there's been people long before me who said, like, be in this world, not of it, be like the observer part. Don't make it real more than it is. It is real, but at the same time, it's an illusion. There's all of these paradoxes that just messes with your mind and makes it, I think, that it's made like, it's set up like that so that we don't get it. Because if we understood what life was about, if we got that within the first 24 hours, we would say, I'm out of here. This is getting boring. Mm-hmm. So we have like, I even wrote a book called Remind Me. It's like a 1-hour power book, Remind Me. It's the manual for life. It's like a computer game, but about life. And every night when we go to sleep, we're being injected, while sleep is partly being injected with amnesia, so that we are sort of like, oh, I get it. And then we go to sleep. When we wake up the next morning, what did I get? No, there was something I need to go on again. And so because that drags it out, and we can carry on for years and years. You can get to the year of 100 years old and still be confused. It's amazing, this area. I mean, oh my God, everything is possible. So from a spiritual point of view, it is a matter of detach. On a street level, it's a matter of engage. How can you do both? This is the trick, or the difficult thing is to act like anger is not something that sits well in me. I am not comfortable with anger. And in these areas, I'm getting into very dark areas that should generate anger. Mm. But I know if I get angry or hateful, I get neutralized. I get useless. I'm of no value. So for me, it's to detach, but yet do. And this is also where this bearded dude called Jesus, he said, judge the sin, not the sinner. And it's the same here. The sins that are carried out is horrendous. So I judge the sin, but I don't judge the soul that is there. Because also, I mean, this is getting like quite advanced, but I also feel that the worst assholes in your life are the best teachers. The ones that are just patting you on the back and never challenging you or pushing you in any certain direction for you to evolve. It's not them. It's the one that really triggers you. So you can hate that individual, or after a while you can start saying, what is it? Why am I being triggered? What is it in me that gets triggered by this asshole when other people don't? There's something there. And then look for that. And indirectly, you will see that it's this psycho or whatever that individual is that is helping me to locate my injuries, my things that needs to be healed or stuff like that. It's thanks to these individuals. And once I'm healed from that, thanks to that individual, suddenly the asshole is no asshole anymore. And sometimes you can become incredible friends with this individual. It's really interesting, I find. And this is also when I look at my own life. I mean, I'm surrounded by former assassins, and like black ops and people that have done monstrous things. I mean, I'm not a friend, but I'm pretty close with a certain individual who killed 1,000 people. I don't kill ants. I don't step on ants. I don't kick dogs. I don't speak in a violent way, and I mingle with individuals like that. How I don't, but at the same time, I really think that I've been in my life trying to, when I looked at my bookshelves, sometimes I was like, serial killers, assassination, all of that on that side, spirituality on that side, and nothing in between. I was like, am I sort of like schizophrenic? But I think it's more the understand both sides without judgment. And so anyway, Fleming, I want to say thank you for bringing it up, because even though I might sound confused, I'm a searcher and I'm doing my utmost. And I've managed to surf these dark waves in a different way than most, I think. That's also why I'm being interviewed by many around the world, because there's something with this meat suit that is different to the rest. And I can only say, I don't know. I do my best, and apparently this is how it's being seen. So at the moment, unfortunately, I cannot return to Sweden. I've been informed that I can face up to 18 years in prison if I go back to Sweden. And it's like, what? Yeah, 18 years.
What be for putting you on?
What has happened in Sweden is that they changed the constitution, the constitution of Sweden. Yeah. They did it in a really, really sophisticated, manipulated way. They had to, a lot of things had to happen so that they could access the constitution. And once they got in there, they changed it so that now espionage and mental illness and conspiracy theories and unpleasant truths are being mixed into this gray porridge weird thing that can be used against individuals that the people in so-called power don't like, or against individuals like this one. So that it's really bizarre, because it's very, I mean, I'm sure unfortunately that you have people, friends that are now in mental institutions or put behind bars or stuff. What have they done? What have they done? All we have done is speak the truth. And the extra 4 years, 18 plus 4, is because I've been criticizing NATO. And I tell you, guilty as charged, because I have spent my life exposing what I thought was an amazing organization until I started seeing that this is the terror tool of the world. Oh my God. So yeah, it's guilty as charged. So anyway, so
you can't go back to Sweden, Ole.
At this point, I'm not even going to risk it. Also, because I've exposed some very, very rotten inner core individuals in the Swedish society that has been behind a lot of the chaos that is now created, and have also reached very high positions in the security police and stuff like that. So no, not going there. So I thought, if I can't come to you,
Ole, and of course the Olof Palme murder and his subsequent replacements there as well, Carl Bildt, is central to some of the developments that has gone on in Sweden for many years.
Yeah, but not only Sweden. If you look at Carl Bildt, that is a nice-looking individual, super criminal. I mean, super criminal. It's unbelievable that they can get away with it. I don't understand how we don't see it.
He's part of nearly all the secret, semi-secret organizations like Atlantic Council, Council on Foreign Relations, Bilderberg, and all those. Yeah, he's central, very central.
So, yeah, so what I've decided together with my sweetheart is that if I can't go to you, why don't you come to me? Because at the moment we're living at this, the island of the gods, Bali, which is an stunning place. I love it here. I love it. It's not for everyone, I tell you. It's quite chaotic and so on. But the gentleness among the people here, the beauty of nature, it is just an extraordinary. Never ever been to a place like this, and so grateful to be here. So anyway, so we have this place. It's our favorite place in Bali. It's called Sidaman. It's Kim and I, my sweetheart, we got married there in Indonesian way with the whole thing. We looked like Christmas trees and lipstick and the whole shebang. And the owner, Mama Ati, is a priestess who, I mean, they just treat you. I've never been treated like that before. So we're gonna have 2 retreats in April 2026, from the 1st to the 8th in Swedish, and from the 18th to the 25th in English.
Which month?
And so this is April of 2026.
April. Yes, thanks.
Yeah, and so the idea is, because many people have asked me, how can you see these things? How do you? I don't understand why you see this and we don't. But then the more they listen to me, they start seeing as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, so my name has been played with a lot. You know, oh, you're such a Dammegard, or you're Dammegard, or demigod, or whatever, and also being a verb. So I thought, you know, a guardian of truth and transparency, a Dammegardian. And so we were playing around with the word and said, let's make a retreat, like an education to become a Dammegardian, the protector of truth and transparency. So make it a play, but make it serious as well. So during this week, there's going to be a lot of laughter. It's going to be, I guarantee you, a life-changing experience, both on a spiritual, but also mentally, how you see the world and understand the world. And what I'm going to take is both how I can surf these waves and how I deal with it, how I stay calm and lovingly, but also like a forensic true crime detective to show how do these operation work. What is there to look out for? What are the signs? What are this? What is that? And then during the week, it's going to be quite intense, but at the same time relaxed. Plenty of time to relax and get new friends from all over the world, because these networks are one of the most important things. So, but I'm also, once people have really started to get the feeling for the whole thing, I'm going to ask for help with at least one case that I'm working on right now, which is the biggest mass murder case in modern history, as far as I know, and nobody knows about it hardly. And so people are gonna be asked to be actively part of helping me maybe see things that I have overlooked and so on, and be part of maybe solving that crime, and thus keep people safe for the future. And then there's going to be music and Balinese dancing and the Balinese, and the food. It's just wow. The place itself, just go there. You don't have to do anything. Just stay there 1 week, be among these people. That will change you, I tell you. And so this Dammegarding experience, you can sign up. There's very limited places, because I want to keep a group that is sort of like small and intimate. So 25 people is maximum. And so it was from the 1st to the 8th of April. That's a Swedish one, but any Scandinavian that understands Swedish is most welcome. And then from the 18th to the 25th of April, 2026 is the English version. Same number of places. So please sign up quickly before we run out of space, because that would be a bummer. But anyway, everything is included. So you have to get here yourself to Bali. We can help you with different ways, but then get yourself in a cab, drive on location. Once you're on location in Cinnamon, you're in my hug. I will hug you through this week. I will take care of everything for you. Everything is included until the day we say thank you and goodbye. Then you're on your own. And I ask you, when you book your trip, please allow at least an additional week or so, because this island is just worth exploring. I'll be most happy to point out, like, I can't speak highly enough about this island. Once you get off the track, the tourist areas can just like, oh God, but the rest of the island, oh my God, it is, and yeah, I think you get it.
Yeah, I love it. Sounds so fantastic, Ola, and I really want to join you in Bali as well. How do people sign up?
It's you will get the link underneath here. It's called dammegardians.com/travel Bali. SC if it's for the Swedish version, or just Travel Bali for the English, but both links will be below. If you want to sign up for the Swedish version, then please use the code Fleming, and then that will then give you a discount of €100 if you come through Fleming here. So that would be amazing. And for the English version, just use Fleming's affiliate link that can also be found underneath. And there you go.
We'll keep the instructions, of course, with this interview video. Ole, thank you so much for taking the time once again to reveal what is going on in the world stage with all these events and theaters that are being put up for us. And most of all, thanks for inviting people in to see things the way you do it. And I also really believe it's so important we meet up physical in this world. So thanks for making this possibility for arranging a retreat in Bali. I hope to be there myself. It might not happen this time, but I certainly hope it will happen the next time after that, Ole. Thank you so much.
No, you're most welcome, Fleming. And just like you say, it's when you meet in person, that's where the real magic happens. Just, it's on a heart level. I don't know how it happens, but it just happens. And this is the thing that, when I've been on tour I speak about death and destruction and blood and bombs and whatever. But my intention is that people they leave empowered and full of hope and in love with life, in love with their new friends. And this is like when we've been on tour, it's been amazing, I tell you. Sometimes I've been like 7 hours on stage or whatever, people don't want to leave. And the reason is because I come from the heart. I have this prayer before any presentation or whatever, where I ask all the saints and sages, all the angels, all of these things, my ancestors, known and unknown, to help me get my ego out of the way and speak directly from the heart and say exactly what is needed to whoever is listening at this time. And so that is the thing that resonates with people. They say it's something in my voice. No, it's not. It's coming through from a heart level to the heart level, and especially when you meet in real life, it's just beautiful. I mean, it is. When we were on tour, we were addicted to Johnny Cash, my tour organizer, and I. We couldn't get enough of tours because all of these incredible meetings with all of these incredible people, you out there. So, yeah, it's. If that week is not life-changing, I would have completely failed. I would be so disappointed in myself, but I won't, because I know that week is just gonna go like this. I can't wait.
I know it's going to be a fantastic week, both of them. The first one, 1st to 8th of April 2026 in Swedish or Scandinavian. The second one from the 18th to the 25th of April 2026 in English. Only 25 seats. Please do find links for reserving a seat for yourself in the description of this video interview. And please do go to Dammegard's homepage, dammegard.com or lightonconspiracies.com to support Ole Dammegard and receive his newsletter. Thank you so much, Ole.
Thank you, Flemming. Always such a pleasure. And happy New Year. Let's make 2026 the best year ever. The thing is, I just want to say, they have inverted reality. We think we're living in hell. It's not true. We live in absolute beauty, but we're being told that it's hell. It is not. So stop listening, stop whining, start shining, and the future is going to be wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right, Ole. Thank you.
Thank you.